The Horror Review. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Just the facts. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch is the name of an American horror movie that was released at cinemas in the United States on October the 22nd, 1982. The film was written and directed by Tommy Lee Wallace, whose other credits include the excellent and underrated 1988 sequel to the original Fright Night Part 2, and the 1990 TV miniseries version of Stephen King's It. The film's score was provided by Alan Howarth and John Carpenter. Plot. A bizarre murder-suicide in a hospital sees a shaken doctor, Dan Chalice, team up with the daughter of the murdered man to investigate the strange event, an investigation that leads to a small town that plays host to Silver Shamrock, a novelty toy company that specializes in Halloween masks, and an insane toy maker with devilish plans for American children on Halloween night. Trivia. Halloween 3 is famous, or perhaps infamous, as the Halloween film that does not feature the notorious Michael Myers, and indeed has no connection to the other films in the franchise, not even being a slasher film so much as a hybrid between science fiction and supernatural horror. John Carpenter, the creator of the Halloween series, felt that the Myers plot was played out and wanted to turn the series into an anthology franchise with different stories that could be released every year, but all with a Halloween theme. The original screenplay was written by British writer Nigel Neal, the creator of the Quatermass films and TV series, but he left the project following studio alterations to the script to up the horror content. Halloween 3 was novelized in 1982 by horror author Dennis Etchison under the pseudonym Jack Martin and was a bestseller, being re-released in 1984. The film was released on VHS and Laserdisc in 1983 and later in 1996, 1998, 2002 and 2007. The film was released on Blu-ray in 2012. Jamie Lee Curtis, who plays Laurie Strode in many films in the Halloween series, appears in the film in clips from the original Halloween, with the film being played on television, but can also be heard as the voice of the telephone service provider and the curfew announcer in the town of Santa Mira. Cast. The film stars Tom Atkins in the lead role of Dr. Dan Chalice. Atkins became a cult favourite thanks to roles in a number of 80s horror flicks, including the likes of John Carpenter's The Fog, Night of the Creeps and Maniac Cop, and also appeared in more mainstream features such as the original Lethal Weapon. Stacey Nelkin plays Ellie Grimbridge, the actress being otherwise most famous as Christy Russell on the soap opera Generations. Playing the villain of the piece is Irish actor Dan O'Hurley, perhaps best known as the Old Man, the boss of OCP Communications in the original 1987 sci-fi action classic RoboCop and its first sequel, and who also had a recurring role in the second season of David Lynch's cult TV series Twin Peaks. Reaction. Halloween 3 was not a massive success at the time. Although it recouped its budget, the film earned less than the previous films in the series, but was also the victim of a massive backlash from the audience. Either simply due to audience expectation or poor marketing, most of the audience, both at the cinema and on home video, sat down expecting to see Michael Myers slicing people up again, only to get something very, very different, and many fans were furious, resulting in the film being hated for many years and seen as the black sheep of the franchise. However, as is so often the case, particularly with horror movies, over the years the film began to be appreciated by a growing cult audience for what it was, rather than what it wasn't, and has now a much more appreciative audience who see it as a cult classic chiller. What I think. I've always liked Halloween 3, and after seeing it again earlier this month, I still do. This standalone sci-fi supernatural horror hybrid is still a genuinely good film in its own right, with a wonderfully original and bizarre plot, a solid cast, and a compellingly nightmarish atmosphere that is very reminiscent of many of John Carpenter's own films. Being one of those weirdos who tends to like things that go a bit off the beaten path, I've never had a problem with the film for being different to the rest of the franchise, and it's still very enjoyable on its own terms. I have no hesitation in awarding Halloween 3 Season of the Witch a strong B+.